Ethos of Silence.
A veteran podcast aims to amplify the voices of veterans, creating a safe space for authentic conversations about their experiences, challenges, and triumphs. We seek to break the stigma surrounding mental health and foster community support, resilience, and understanding. Through storytelling, expert insights, and candid discussions, we strive to inspire healing, promote awareness, and empower veterans on their journeys.
Welcome. Ethos of Silence, and we're back here with Chuck, and we're going to jump off. You know, you were just telling me about this Air Force recruiter that had to go and change into a larger set of pants to be able to buckle up to sit down and have a conversation with you. And then you looked at him and decided that you didn't want that easy of a life. So
it wasn't just that. It was like he had a mustard stain, like a constant. There was a deli not too far from the recruiter office.
Well, yeah, the food cart in the mall, right?
That man loved to go to that deli. So yeah, he had mustard stains on his uniform. So lo and behold, he also would say weird stuff like, show me a picture of your girlfriend and stuff like that. Kind of like a creeper kind of type dude. I don't, that's the vibe that he gave off. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a creeper dude.
So I've got a personal question, right? So you're in Jacksonville, right?
Yeah.
I'm aware about your complexion. How much did you go to the beach? How much did you like the beach scenery? How much did you utilize the Jacksonville beach? And would you recommend visitors to visit the Jacksonville beach because it is a place that the nightlife is amazing? Or is it a place that, teenagers run around and have a good time? Because weirdly enough, I wanted to take my senior trip to Jacksonville, and I had a bunch of buddies lined up to go with me. And then I got cock blocked because an old girlfriend decided that she wanted to go on the trip. So I backed out of going on the trip, and then the trip just magically disappeared because she wanted to go, and everybody else couldn't afford it without me going all of a sudden, because I'm the one who works and makes money and makes things happen. And then without me, they can't tie all the pieces together and make the trip happen. So it just falls apart. So I didn't actually go on my senior trip to Jacksonville Beach. So I'm not exactly sure what I missed out on, but I'd like to know from a teenage mindset, since we're in 18-year-old Chuck's mind, how beautiful that beachfront was before we ever get into how that Marine suckered you away from this amazing Air Force recruiter.
Oh man, I hated the beach. I to be completely honest with you, I don't like the beach to this day. I'm not a beach person. In high school, I spent a lot of time in girls' bedrooms. Okay, there was no point for me going to the beach. My goal was to get into the bedroom, so that's
Chuck,
where I spend most of the time.
I'm gonna have to remind you that you have two young girls.
Oh yeah,
and they will listen to your podcast, my friend. But that also lets them know that, hey, Daddy did it. Daddy wasn't born last night. Daddy knows the tricks they playing. Daddy played these tricks. Yeah. They're not any different.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, look, yep.
Like Dion said, the kids are all the same. They just want to be coached. The kids aren't any different. You need to coach the kids.
So, yeah. So, I mean, that was parties, stuff like that. I seldom went to any of those. Like I said, I was always with this girl and that girl and this girl. It kind of turned me into like a social pariah. Like, he was like, don't talk to that guy. He's the guy that always talks to this girl, that girl. He changes his girl, like changes his underwear.
I hear you, dog. Hey, there's no reason to go to the party when you already have the gift bag at home.
Yeah, exactly. So, but you know what? I'm gonna throw this in there. One time on one of my Chuck's epic adventures, real quick. So I was a junior in high school, and she was a sophomore.
Okay, Chuck's Epic Adventures. I like the title of this.
So, she lived in Eagle Harbor.
All right.
And I lived probably what the drive would be about a 20-minute drive by car. Okay. So this is back in the day with AIM. She happened to be the friend of one of my sisters, who also went to, at one point, me and my middle sister went to the same school together. So she was a sophomore, I was a junior. She hit me up on AIM, and I'll never forget her name. Her name was Cookie Monster XXX.
AIM, okay? AIM. I'm all about some Cookie Monster XXX on AIM.
So she messaged me one night and she sent me a picture of her chest, right? And this back in the days, this is back when dial up and so the image is grainy and everything like that. But I know what I'm looking at. You know what I'm saying? And she sent me her address and she said, "You're real cute. I've been looking at you. Kind of know your reputation. Like we should hook up."
Your reputation precedes you. I am going to evaluate if it is legitimate. Very well. Engage.
So my parents had this little red Honda Civic, and I wasn't able to get my hands on the keys. My dad, kind of kept a real close eye on the keys. I got busted once before. So I parked my bike. I took my bike out of the garage. I put it on the side of the house, before it got dark.
Yeah. I
ended up climbing through my bathroom window. And I need you to understand, I was always a thick, big boy.
No. I described you as Mr. Incredible. You've always had the Mr. Incredible shape. If your shoulders make it through, you're good. But I'm not too sure if those shoulders are going to make it through. And then I'm thinking of Mr. Incredible, one head, one shoulder out, and this isn't going to work. But I can't go backwards. How do I do this? It's like a cat trying to squeeze himself out of a tube of toothpaste. He's going to get there, but no.
I actually broke the dish soap little ledge thing where the dish soap is trying to get out. So I did end up getting out. I did end up getting out.
Congratulations! I thought you were going to tell me you used a dish soap to lube your way through the window.
No. I was desperate. Don't get me wrong, but I wasn't that desperate. As a matter of fact, while we,
So bike, are we talking a bicycle? Or we're talking a motorcycle? We're talking
mountain bike.
Mountain bike, okay.
Mm.
So bicycle, you're just saying mountain bike to sound cool, right? It means it's got a couple little gears and it doesn't have a little weird bell on it. Is it your sister's Is it your sister's pink mountain bike with the little bell and basket?
Hey, nope. This would have been a silver, and it said speed something. Anyway, so I just looked it up just for accuracy. It's a 15-minute drive. It is approximately 6 miles away.
For accuracy, Cookie Monster. Hey, we're thinking about you.
Yeah. So I hop on my bike and I pedal the 6 miles. Okay. And this is, again, back in the day. So we don't have FaceTime, anything like that. I had a little flip phone, and I'm trying to aim, because she messaged me through AIM, and text message, and I'm trying to keep her up.
Yeah, this is like
I'm falling asleep. Yeah.
This is like 07. Wow.
06, 07. Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm talking a good game. I'm throwing all my best bits, and I'm biking as hard as I can, Loucks. I'm just biking. At one point, probably about a mile away, I break the pedal. That's how hard I was pedaling.
I've got a guest in the living room that is very, very engaged in your story. They're just wearing a headset and listening to what we're talking about, and it is so hard not to react to them. It is ridiculous, but please carry on. We almost broke the pedal. I'd hate to see what you're gonna do to this person who's a 15-minute drive away, 6 miles that you're just pedaling away, and you break a pedal to get there. I don't even know how you're gonna get back at this point, but okay.
It's 30 minutes by bike. That's what Google says. 30 minutes by
bike. Google says it's 30 minutes. I promise you, I made it in 15.
Yeah. Oh man, I was getting it, because this would have been around like a little after midnight. I had to make sure my dad had finished watching the Late Show.
Yeah. I hear you. Prime 17-year-old Chuck. I gotta make it there and make it back. Dad's gonna wonder why the pedals are broken on the bike, but I don't care.
Yeah. So I didn't get there, and we decide. She tells me last minute that I can't come to our house, right? That we have to meet.
This is at what?
Golf course.
Which is another 5-mile detour on your bike path?
No. Eagle Harbor is got its own little golf course in there and everything.
Okay.
So, for her, it's maybe a 2-block walk. For me, 6 miles. So we meet at the golf course, and everything's locked, of course, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not ready to give up on him, man. I just biked 6 miles, and I got to bike another 6 miles back, And so finally, she's like, "Well, we could just do it right here, like,
On the golf course?
on the golf course." Yeah.
Okay,
The eighth hole.
Yeah, plow the front.
eighth hole.
Yeah. You didn't even have to finish the whole front 9. You got it at the 8th hole. Got it.
Yeah. So, and I should have known.
I mean,
like I wouldn't know now.
My preference is the back 9, but I mean, if you want the front 9, it's all about you, dog.
So, the D got done. Right? We'll just say that. The D got done.
Mission accomplished. Broke pedal and all.
Yeah,
got it.
Yep. So D got done, I couldn't even say how long it lasted, but whatever.
I'll tell you what, telling about this story, I mean, you should have been a Marine from day one. I don't even know why you stumbled into any of those other places.
Well, what's really crazy, that was a Saturday night. So Saturday night, we got done doing the thing, and I look at my watch, and probably maybe like 2 something in the morning, going on 3, and I got to get home because I got to get to church Sunday morning.
Oh yeah. No. You're just like the rest of them that need to show up Sunday morning and raise their hands and sing the gospel and be like, Saturday night was so much fun, and Sunday is for me to ask for forgiveness because our religion magically forgives everything I ask for forgiveness for. Well, I'm standing right next to the serial killers and everybody else.
Man, I tell you. But I do manage to pedal this broke bike back home, and unfortunately, like, I don't know what happened, but I think at some point, like, the chain got stuck in there. All I can tell you is probably about the last half of it, I was walking.
Yeah, I mean, you done messed up the pedal. You're on the way home. You're tired. You're exhausted. You done put in 6 rounds. I mean, I understand. At this time, you left at like midnight. The sun's starting to come up. I get you. I get you. And then you're just walking your bike down the road, and you wave the dad on his way to work. Be like, "Hey, Dad, I'm right here."
I did get in. About like 5 in the morning.
How'd you get back through the window?
Hey, sheer grit and determination.
the same as pedaling with a pedal, or figuring out the fact that the bike chain doesn't work, so we're walking beside the bike. Got it.
Yeah. Well, it turns out, if you run really fast with the bike and then hop on, it has a little momentum for a little bit.
Yeah, it'll roll downhill, then you got to push it back uphill. I get it. I've been through the rolling hills of Florida. They're exciting. You probably had an alligator or 2 chasing you that added to the momentum of the hunt. I get it, dog. All right, so let's detour from the side missions of a teenager and go back to the main mission of, how did this Marine Corps recruiter even find you at this point? So you went through the Army, right? Uh-huh. And you decided, well, the asshole sitting next to me is an idiot, so I shouldn't be here. You went through the Navy, and then they showed you the recruitment video, and like, yeah, y'all need to take those slides out of this PowerPoint. And then you went to the Air Force, and you were like, I do love food, but not as much as you. And then we went through this side quest, which mission accomplished. Good job. Hopefully Cookie Monster remembers you. And now, back to the main story.
Okay. So, he had said something about my girlfriend at the time, and I was over it. I was done with it. I didn't want nothing to do with it anymore. And so I ended up like cursing him out. And I go and sit on the stoop. Now, I'm at my low point right now at 17. I'm still 17. I'm at my low point at 17. Because I told everybody, I hyped everybody up I'm going to join the military and make something of myself. So, what I remember next is a black Dodge Ram.
Hell yeah.
Pulling up in front of the Marine Corps recruiter office. Marine stepping out in his dress blues. Right?
Fuck yeah.
And what I thought was like the baddest like grown woman I've seen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she gets up, she's looking amazing, the truck looks amazing, he looks amazing in his uniform, and he walks straight past me.
So is there a male and a female recruiter that gets out of this black Dodge Ram?
No, it was his girlfriend.
Oh, okay. All right. So this Marine in dress blues gets out with his girlfriend, aka the last person he signed off in the Marine Corps, which happens to be the fact that if I sign off my girlfriend to go away to boot camp, I don't have to deal with her for 3 months, and then she'll be stationed somewhere else, and she doesn't have to be my girlfriend anymore. Recruiter 101. Anyways, next.
So I asked him, like, hey, what do I got to do to join the Marine Corps? And he tells the only thing that 17-year-old me needs to hear, I don't think you can do it.
Hell yeah.
Walks in and closes the door.
Do you know the golf course I just fucking pedaled to? Do you know the mission of sneaking out the window, coming back in without dad finding me? Do you understand the logistics required and the physical determination of making it there without a pedal and making it back without the same pedal, and then the chain pops off, and then I still have the determination to get away with it and have the wherewithal to fix everything and, you know, swap the pedal with my sister's bike, and she's wondering why her pedal's broken and daddy buys her a new pedal. Like, you have no idea the reconnaissance skills I have, the determination I have, everything I have. How dare you insult me? I'm 17. Yeah. I know more about the world than you will ever know. Get damn Marine recruiter. Yep.
So I hear you. I'm pulling on the door. You know, that was the last thing I needed to hear. And I'm pulling and making a noise. And finally, you know, he said, if you're serious, come back tomorrow. And of course, like, what do? I come back bright and fucking early. And he didn't give me much of a sales pitch, man. I'll be completely honest with you. I walked in and I remember there being just a big 240 machine gun in the corner. Yeah. I remember like looking up on the wall and seeing all of the Marine Corps, you know, stuff and everything. And
what rank was your recruiter?
He was the guy I ended up talking to was a gunnery sergeant. He was air crew. The guy that had, you know, initially pulled me in, I think he was like a sergeant.
Okay.
And so I'm talking to the gunny, and the gunny's like, man, I'm gonna lay it straight for you. And he proceeds to tell me, you know, how the Marine Corps is the best and the few and the proud. And I mean, this man could have sold sin to a saint.
Yeah, no. You thought you wanted some when you rode your bike that 5.5, 6 miles, whatever it was, and you thought you were well rewarded on the way back. But turns out, you know, that gunny talking to you, you were like, I'm not even in the dudes, but I mean, if you turn around, you might get some.
To be completely honest, man, I tell very seldom few people this story, but
well, now the world's gonna know, Chucky.
Yeah. So, you know, no bonus, nothing. Like, you know, I don't ask for nothing. I'm like, where do I sign? So I'm 17, and here's the first time I really lied to my mom. You know, like I fibbed them. I was a mama's boy, you know, most of my life.
Of course, your mama's boy. You're the protector of all your sisters. You're laying everything down. You see the money she was gonna lay out. You done like, look, I'm not the person who's going to take advantage of all the stuff you put away. Please use it for my sisters. Yeah, I mean, I understand you. I get you. You've got this mold, this mentality about you, but you've also got this raw teenager determination of a Marine to do stuff, which, you know, and then you got that little man syndrome because of your cousins. I get it, dog. I get it.
So, you know, when you're under the age of 18, you know, you have to have an adult signature.
Yeah.
And I ended up convincing the recruiter, and this is years ago, to let me take the paperwork home. I talked to my dad, and me and my dad, we're oil and water. You know, he likes Fords, I like Chevy. You know, I like American football, he likes soccer. Couldn't be, you know, negative, positive, so on and so forth. So
I hear you.
We didn't have a lot of deep conversations, but I remember specifically.
So let me guess. Your pitch to mama was, "Daddy doesn't want to let me do it."
No. My dad, you know, was watching sports, and he very rarely turned his head away from sports when the game was on. But I remember him saying, you know, and this is a college educated, you know, he was a account controller. He handled large amounts of money and placed a high value on education. That's the kind of man my father was.
That makes sense.
And he said, you know, I don't know anything about the Marine Corps. He said, I don't know. And I know very little about the military. He said, what I can tell you is that the Marines are supposed to be the best of the best. And he's like, I don't think you can do it. Which I want to say, and my father's long since passed, and I will say that I hope that was like a challenge.
Yeah, I hear you. My father since passed as well, and I hear you with the fact of the challenge of a father worried about his son making a decision to do something that is beyond something he could comprehend himself doing, thus doesn't think that he could ever do it. So thinking that his son is going to attempt it is something that's unimaginable. So it's as if imagining, like you're living in a certain lifestyle and your father wants you to be in a different lifestyle, but he doesn't want you to overshoot where you're actually able to be so that you are stable. You know what I mean? Because like if we go out and buy a Bugatti, we're going to have a great fucking month, but whenever the note's due in about 6 months and I repo the fucking thing, all of a sudden we're fucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like as much as I would love a Bugatti and I would love to pull the ass that comes with the Bugatti, it would be amazing. But that's not me. That's not what's going to happen, So yeah, I get it. I understand. Oh man, you're probably thinking the same thing for your daughters. Like if your daughters were to address you and want to join the military and do different things, you're like, I know I was a Marine. I know you can do it. Is that the life I want for you? I've seen what the end result looks like for the majority of people that join and what they do. You're smart enough. I've given you the opportunities. I have all the military benefits. Join as an officer, go to college, do this stuff, and then join on the backside. Even if you go to school, which what's the thing we joke about? Underwater basket weaving, and then you get the degree in underwater basket weaving, and then you go join the Navy as an underwater basket weaver so you can weave the best baskets ever to catch the underwater fish. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, we want better for our kids, but we don't want them to overshoot what they're capable of because we don't want them to fail. But once again, we've learned that failure is a very important process throughout this entire system, is failing. So you know that, hey, look, I just adjust some shit and go again.
Yeah. Well, like I said, he ended up signing it, and that was that. Now, my mom's a completely different story. So I had to kind of this is where it happened. So
anyway, you got your dad's signature. Your dad actually signed it. He said, I don't think you can do it, but I mean, if you want to do it, I'm behind you. You can do it. Okay.
Leave out the I'm behind you part, but yeah. So,
well, his signature is still a vote of confidence that he has faith in you to complete what's going on, which is immeasurable. It truly is, because I tell you what happened whenever I went and had the same conversation, because you didn't listen to my podcast. So when I had the same conversation with my mother, and my father was there, who was in and out of my life, but he was there when this conversation happened. And he told me, my father didn't speak a fucking word. The recruiter was in there. He made his fucking pitch. The recruiter walked out and I had a conversation with my parents. And my mom said, if you are still this fucking dedicated, when you turn 18, you can sign up and go. I said, okay, sounds good. About 10 days after I turned 18, I signed up and I left. Like, I signed up for the Marine Corps. I was still in high school. Signed up for everything. Like 10 days later, went down to MEP, signed everything, made everything fucking official. Like, I was resolved in my decision. I knew what I was going to do.
No.
But
so I waited till my mom was on the phone with my grandmother. Okay. And I remember covering the Eagle Globe and Anchor symbol on that paper and sliding it over and telling my mom, hey, I need you to sign this to the recruiter real quick. And she saw my dad's signature, and we had been talking so much about the Air Force. She just assumed it was for the Air Force. I didn't correct her. I didn't point out like, hey, this isn't for the Air Force. Yeah, so that's where it happened. So this is how excited I was. I ended up, immediately after she signed it, I got in the car, drove down to the recruiter office, slid the paper underneath the door.
Yeah, because obviously they were closed. Nobody was there. You slid it under the door like, hey, dog, here's all my shit. You text him, say, hey, man, my paper's in the office. Make sure you file it first thing in the fucking morning. I'm yours.
Yeah. So we fast forward, go to MEPS, do all the things, and I make it. I make it through first try, and at this time, I wanted to be infantry.
Yeah,
Some
of
of my
course you
buddies from
do.
high school, yeah, some of my buddies were already signed up for infantry, and
Hold on. You actually made friends in high school? Turns out like you were on a different mission than the friendship mission. How'd this friend thing happen?
I had one or two.
One or two ride or dies. Are they still your ride or dies or what?
Man, I don't talk to anybody from my high school days anymore.
That's sad. I've got one guy I talked to from my high school days. I got one guy I talked to from my VFW days, man.
Yeah,
it's hard to find. It's hard to find them real friends. It is.
Yeah. So my mom picked me up from MEPS, right? And I purposely did not tell her about the swearing in ceremony at, so I didn't want her to know. So I have the little packet that you get from MEPS and everything, and I'm so excited. I'm dreaming about myself in dress blues and all the firefights that I'm going to be in, all girls I'm going to get, because, obviously Marines.
Obviously, Marines are going to lay you over in Australia, and you're going to repopulate the country, and then you're going to go to war. Sounds good.
Yeah. So I ended up flipping it over, and she can see the big eagle of an anchor.
Hell yeah, she
can. My mom starts crying. We're driving. She starts crying. She doesn't say a word, and I eventually figure out that dum like she can see the packet.
All right, Chuck. I was waiting for you to call yourself out, because now I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna be like, hey man, look, how did I make you introduce yourself to other people in the Marine Corps?
My name is Lance Corporal Charles. I'm not very smart, but I can lift heavy things.
Yep. And what did that do? That established yourself at a level that you couldn't get any lower. So then you built up from that, and you became, now you're a damn running an entire naval division on a ship. Like you're the man. And yeah.
Well, I gotta say, it's probably one of the worst things I've ever done, because we pulled into the driveway, and my mom was just falling in tears, and she looked at me and she said, "If you ever make me cry like this ever again, I'm gonna fucking kill you." Okay. So, and to put it in perspective, my mom is probably like 5'5". She's a small little thing, big attitude. She's, loud temper kind of woman. And so she tells me, "I'm gonna go see this recruiter." And I'm like, "No, it's okay. He's busy." Like, trying to make me
he's busy. Like that matters to Mama Charles.
She told me I could either go with her or she was going to go by herself. So I shoot my recruiter a heads up, and he's thinking like, "Oh, great, like awesome, I get to finally meet," because he also was trying to meet my parents.
No. He was trying to give your parents the pitch. Everything else, he has no idea that you hornswoggled them into the fact of signing you into the Marine Corps. Little did they know that that's where you're at. Your father never talked to your mother about it, because both the signature on the paper. So he assumes that your mother looked at the damn Eagle, Globe, and Anchor before she signed the paper. Because guess what? A Marine Corps symbol is really hard to fucking miss. You got an eagle, you got a globe, and you got an anchor. And it's really big on that package, Maybe after you, they decided that, your recruiter lodged the complaint and they put it on both sides of the fucking package. I don't know.
So, like I said, my recruiter, by all means, was, like I said, outside of the salesman stuff, he was a pretty straightforward guy. He never asked me to do anything crazy or anything like that. So that's kind of on me. But we ended up going to the recruiter office. We ended up, I wanted to talking to him. And this man was like 6'2", 6'3", big guy. He was a gun sergeant in the Marine Corps. He spoke it like, bellowed out, like an echo and everything. And everyone in the room listened to him and thought what they were doing. And I just watched my mom make him, bend over at the waist so they could have a conversation,
Hey, big man, get down here, speak on my level.
Yeah. And so long story short, she finds out infantry and she flips out again. And she says, "I'm not leaving this office until get the job changed. So here's my first lucky break. Okay. My mom tells me.
So what was your ASVAB score?
50.
You scored a 50? Holy shit. You're on the line. Like 50 is the line that says that you are able for any job in the Marine Corps. Below 50 says you have to be fucking infantry. And below fucking like 31, 32, whatever it is, it says you can't join. And the Marine Corps has the highest minimum standard of any fucking branch. And like nobody actually understands that. And you being a recruiter, you could clarify what I'm saying. But like nobody understands that like the Marines, we're stupid. Yeah, we like to eat crayons. Yeah, you tell us a mission, we're going to get that fucking mission done. Like, hey, we got to get the whole 8 on the golf course. We're going to get the whole 8 on the golf course, broken by pedal or not. Like Marines are going to get it done. Doesn't matter. It's going to get done.
Yeah. So,
so we're at 30 minutes.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and
like I said, I like to keep them about short like this, but I don't care how many of these we get, dog. We can talk all night till I show up to work tomorrow morning. I don't care.
Yeah, it's therapeutic, that's for sure.
It is, man. It's amazing to reconnect. But the other thing is like people who know us, like kind of attached to us, learn a little bit more about us. But then other than that, like going back and reminiscing, it's powerful. It's iron sharpening iron that helps us just drive forward. You got any words of wisdom?
Lions do not concern themselves with the thoughts of sheep.
All right. Well, I'm going to leave you with something that we're definitely going to have to jump into at the very next one. Yeah. I've always told you that the nail that sticks out gets the hammer. And that was something I told you a lot in the Marine Corps, right? My favorite quote now is the fact that when it's your turn to be the hammer, hit hard. Because when you were the nail, no one showed you any mercy. Iron sharpens iron. We're out, brother.
We now have a moment of silent prayer for those still in the battle, for our departed comrades, for those missing in action, and for those held as prisoners of war.